Shane Gillis hosted SNL.
Yeah. Are you a fan of his?
I'm a huge fan.
I think he's funny. I've heard him on Rogan.
He's the greatest newer working comic today.
Okay.
Beautiful Dogs is the greatest special I've seen in a very long time.
What was the joke he made? He goes, Biden's the only president that you could like punch assassinate him.
Yeah, it's the best. Dude, you know he got canceled, right?
I think canceling's losing its
it already has.
power.
It already has
sure.
quite a bit.
So people are kind of done with that shit.
So after Shane did his SNL monologue, opening monologue, he did one of these. He was like while the camera was like panning out, you could tell he wasn't happy about it.
Okay.
Here's why. I thought it was funny. I didn't think it was the greatest of all time.
Me
right?
neither, yeah.
But it was funny. Here's why I think it wasn't
great
great, and it could have been. Because he knows he got fired from SNL, so he had to mention that, right?
Yeah.
So he knows he has to mention the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
So that already narrows the scope a little bit.
Good
right?
for him, though.
But I'm glad he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then here's the other thing. He has to try to be edgy because he can't just come back after being canceled and fired and come back and be like a clean comic.
Oh, yeah. And
everyone would give him
all
shit for that.
tame, yeah.
Exactly. But he can't also come back hard and be like,
It'd be too much.
Transgender. You know,
That's not
he
funny.
can't do it.
Yeah.
So he had to toe a crazy line.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it wasn't great. Because he even knew, fuck, I'm towing this line. Because he knew that beforehand, I think he had preconceived ideas of what it was going to be like. So every time a joke didn't get immediate laugh and applause, he was like, I'm sorry, stupid joke, whatever. Like already shitting on himself.
Do you think people really know who he is? Do you think he's very well known?
It's sort of hard to say because I know him so well because I'm very much into the comic scene.
Okay. So if you're not in the comic scene, mainstream comedy,
So
he's
you
not there.
can speak to that.
Yeah. So I asked my fiance,
Okay.
do you know who this is? She said no. I go, have you ever heard the name?
She said
Shane
yes.
Gillis. No. Never even heard the name.
Yeah.
That shows you the power of the Rogan verse. Joe Rogan has this power because of the audience he's garnered, where if he wants you in his atmosphere and puts you out there on his show that has millions of viewers,
That's all it is. It's
you are instant.
if he wanted Cameron on his show, Cameron now has millions of people.
Isn't that crazy?
that know his name.
Yeah, he's got he has such an audience
So
that
guys,
he's got the power to launch you.
I didn't want to do this so early into the show, but I am going to be on Rogan next week.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
That'd be crazy. What if he said, I want one of you guys to come on?
Yeah, it could only be one though.
Only one.
Yeah, so I'd have to do it.
Yeah. We'd have to fight to the death.
Yeah, we would. In his office.
In his honor, in his office.
Yeah.
So before I slit your throat, I'd say, for you, Joseph. Right?
Then he's like, well, now I kind of don't want you on the show because the show
he's like, I really thought Jared was gonna win.
Both of you. Yeah, that'd be funny. Yeah.
So you killed him for no reason.
I'm bumping you for Gillis.
You would go through that.
How fun of a show to do. And he has YouTubers on all the time.
I would be honestly.
podcasters
I would get
on.
kidney stones. I'd be so scared. I'd be like, so,
Really?
dude. I'd have so much anxiety. My whole head would go bald.
That's
I would
so
lose
funny.
every hair.
I feel like I would be in the total opposite. He and I think about a lot of the same stuff, and because I've listened to his show enough now, I almost feel like there's like comfortable with what the show is.
dude. You sound like such.
So I feel
a
like I could
fuck-
just
You know what that's
relax.
called? You know what that's called?
Huh?
It's called a parasocial relationship, Jared.
No. You're taking it in a weird way.
Oh, it's like I know him. Like, I know that
that's
we
not
get
what I'm saying.
along. You have a parasocial relationship.
That's not what I'm saying
and
at
it's
all.
and it's of a homosexual nature.
No, you're taking it to a weird place.
Okay.
What I mean by that is, I get the idea of what the show is.
Oh, yeah, we
So
all do,
I don't
buddy.
feel like I would be like, what's going to
No,
happen?
I don't feel. I'm not saying I'd go in there like,
I think it'd be.
who are you and where am I? What are we
Right.
talking about? No, I'd be like, I got to be funny. I got to be on. I got to be clever. I got to be smart. I got to be there with the facts.
I think that's like the opposite way to go. Because
I'm not saying I'd try to do
what
that.
he's
I'm
the
saying it would
best at
happen.
doing is just having a conversation,
I
and
know.
the conversation just goes wherever it goes. There's no agenda there. I like that. The guest might have an agenda, but he doesn't. It's just a conversation. So just let him take the wheel.
Well, he sort of
and
has an
just go where
agenda.
it
He's like,
goes.
okay, I got to mention bow hunting. I got to mention elk meat.
You're right. Yeah, I got to mention ice plunge.
Yeah. Speaking of ice plunges, king of segues, even though this one's not a good one, but I'll make it work. Ready? Speaking
Okay.
of ice plunges, let's plunge into.
Yes. Okay.
Got it. The
Mario
idea
Brothers.
that you sent me a photograph.
Yeah.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed that, click right here.
Or right here.
Thanks. Laters.